All right, students, and we're back for our final presentation of the day with University of Arizona, Kyle Fisher, the Big Fish, as he's known down there. We wanted to go ahead and start things off with a little quick game of Think Fast. So we're going to go ahead and, same as last year, put 45 seconds on the clock, give you 10 questions, and you got to answer them all.
Okay.
All right?
Well, I mean, he doesn't have to. There's no, repercussions.
Yeah, I guess that's true. We would like you to answer all 10 of them.
Okay, as much
Yeah.
as best as I can. I got
The
you.
music gets a little snappier, so are we ready?
Is there music behind?
Okay. Here we
Yeah, we're really upping the production value.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Count it down for us, Zach.
Okay, so 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. What happened to the iPhone 9?
Wow.
You skipped it. Did you play Frisbee in college?
No, absolutely not.
Did he?
Yes,
Definitely
absolutely.
Frisbee guy. What's the worst smelling place on campus?
On campus, Panda Express.
Wow. There's some angry Panda fans that are going to be out there. Can you dance?
Absolutely, yes.
Can she dance?
Yes.
Can he dance?
No.
Wow.
15 seconds.
What is your degree?
Sure.
Special education and rehabilitation.
Wonderful. What is his degree?
Finance.
Black belt.
Okay.
Black belt. There you go. What is my degree?
Cosmetology.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Where is Abraham Lincoln's face?
Oh, $5 bill. I don't know. $5, right?
$5 bill, right? Yeah, George Washington's on the one. $5
He's on a
bill.
penny too.
Yeah, and the penny. And,
he's on
above his neck. Yeah.
Right?
Those are
Did I get
all
it?
acceptable
Did I get
answers.
that?
Yeah. So,
Perfect.
Yeah,
I'll take
that was
it.
good. Nailed it. All right.
What happened to the iPhone 9?
They didn't make one. They went straight from 8 to 10.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I didn't even think about
He's got one, right? You got the fancy pants one.
This is last year's model. This is
Ooh.
the 10.
Falling behind the times.
On the 10S already.
Ugh.
Yeah, I thought that was a plural, 10.
Tens. The iPhone X's. All right, so like I said, we are here with the University of Arizona, and without further ado, we are going to let Kyle go into his presentation on U of A.
Cool. So yeah, my name is Kyle, and I'm representing the University of Arizona, and we are located down in Tucson, which is a good 90 minutes away from Phoenix for anyone who might be up here in Phoenix. So we are located down there, and there's a lot of really cool things, which we'll talk a little bit about Tucson in a second. So we are just 1 square mile down in Tucson, Arizona, and we have all 50 states represented, as well as 120 countries represented from all across the world. We have some really cool diversity going on down at the U of A, with 35,000 undergraduate students at the University of Arizona. That does also include online students too. Now keep in mind now that 35,000, because that includes online, that doesn't mean that 35,000 students are just going to be on 1 square mile. So we have that. Now, one of the big things that we all want you to know is that we do have an incredible academic program at the U of A. The average incoming GPA for freshmen this last year was a 3.3. We have a really cool 15-to-1 student to faculty ratio, which means that for every 15 students, you have 1 faculty member, whether that is helping you out with research opportunities, independent studies, a lot of really cool internships and whatnot. But that also means that you're going to have a lot smaller classroom sizes as well. So you will have the occasional lecture class, but a lot of the time, especially the further that you get into the field, you're going to have a lot smaller classroom sizes. The other thing too is we have about 40% of our students that identify as diverse. We are known as a Hispanic Serving Institution, or an HSI, which means that about 25% of our students do identify as Hispanic. For the previous freshman class, actually over 50% of our students identified as a student of color, which is a really cool statistic right there. All right, so not sure how many of you know what you want to study yet when it comes to college. If you don't know what you want to study, that's totally fine. I just graduated last year, still barely know what I studied, so you're on the right track. But we have some really cool information online in regards to all the degrees that we offer. We offer 300 plus different degrees at the University of Arizona. Last year we spent over $604 million in research alone, and these are research opportunities that you actually get to be a part of at the University of Arizona. Some of the big things that we are known at Arizona are we're known for medicine, so if you're looking at anything medicine related, definitely look at the University of Arizona. Usually what most students tend to do is they'll major in something like physiology, biology, biochemistry. They'll have an academic advisor for that major, and then they'll also have a pre-health advisor. Now that pre-health advisors, making sure that they're taking all the classes that they need to get into the medical school that they want to get into. So we have a pre-dentistry track, we have a pre-podiatry track, in a couple years we're also going to have our we are going to have the medical school at the University of Arizona is also going to have a doctorate in veterinary medicine at the U of A too. So that is set to be all final and checked out 2019, hopefully. We also want to make sure that you know that you're graduating with a skill set, not just a degree. So we have a lot of really cool things to make you real world ready, such as career services at the University of Arizona. And what we'll do a lot of cool career fairs. Well, we will invite hundreds of companies to come by, and they'll actually perform interviews right there at the spot. Now, one of the big things that I love about the U of A is that we do have something called, or we have a lot of really cool clubs and organizations that you can be a part of, including academic clubs. We have some really cool cultural centers that you can be a part of, as well as some intramural and club teams. So intramural teams are basically teams that are formed at the University of Arizona. You play other teams there. And then we also have club teams where there's just one. There's usually a tryout process, and you get to travel around and play other universities. Now, one of the intramural teams that we have at U of A is something called Battleship, and I don't remember if I talked about this last year. But so with Battleship, what we do is we have we're in the backyard of our rec center. We have a giant pool. We have at least 2 kayaks and 4 people in each boat. And these 2 people have buckets. So 2 people have buckets and 1 person has a shield. The entire purpose of Battleship is you pour water in with the buckets into the other person's boat and splash it to try to sink their battleship. It is the most amount of fun I've ever had in my entire life, but also the most amount of exercise I've ever had in my entire life, because the last person, so there's 4 people, 2 people have buckets, 1 person has a shield. The last person is in charge of rowing the boat, but you can't use oars because they're considered weapons or whatever. I don't know. So you have to use your arms and row the entire boat. It was horrible. It was great. At the same time, though, we also have a Quidditch team, too, for club teams. I don't know if anyone has heard of or seen Harry Potter before, but that's kind of like their big sport in the Harry Potter world, right? Flying around on broomsticks. There's a golden snitch where you have to catch the ball. It's worth 150 points, and whoever has the most points at the end wins, right? Now, in our world, at ASU, NEU, U of A, we all have Quidditch teams. It's a really cool thing that we have. So what happens is, instead of broomsticks, you have just a really long pipe that you have to like keep in between your legs and run around on the Quidditch pitch. There's also a golden snitch that's still in our world too. Just happens to be a person painted in gold, and you have to tackle them. Very cute. So my sister, my mom, and I, we actually went to an open practice one time, and they let us play, and I had the role of protecting my sister from anyone trying to take the ball from her or anything like that, and I did so great at protecting her. So great that someone tackled her and she broke her leg. Awesome, next slide. Okay, cool. No, but definitely one of the big things that I highly recommend is to go get involved at the U of A, because we have some really cool opportunities for you. Now, other things too, we have a lot of really cool student support services for you too. So when it comes to support services at the University of Arizona, there's a few things. One of the things that we have is SOS, or Support Opportunity Success. This is a really cool texting service that's based 24/7. You ask it any question that comes your way, and then they will get an answer to you right away. What's really cool about that is that because someone's on call all the time, so they'll be able to help answer your question anytime, anywhere. One of the things that, so say for example, you're trying to watch your figure, and you're like, okay, SOS, what is a really great healthy option for food here on campus? And it'll probably say, Chick-fil-A or Panda Express. No, okay. I'll probably say things like Core, where you can make your own salads. Their motto is "Food Your Body Loves." I definitely didn't go there. But anyway, so we also have Think Tank. It's a free and fee-based tutoring service that you can use at the University of Arizona too. SALT Center is for any student who identifies as having a learning or attention challenge, so ADHD, Dyslexia. It stands for the Strategic Alternative Learning Technique Center. It's a really cool one-on-one mentoring service at the University of Arizona. A lot of really cool success stories with students who identify as having a learning and attention challenge. On-campus housing, so it is not required for you to live on campus any of the years that you are at the University of Arizona. That includes honors classes, that includes a certain year at the U of A. You do not need to. For those seniors that are out there, we do have an April 1st application deadline, where essentially you apply to the U of A, you get accepted, you complete your next steps. If you plan to live on campus and you want to put in your deposit before April 1st, essentially your application fee before April 1st, that holds your spot for you to choose the exact room that you want to live in. Versus a lot of colleges and universities, they kind of choose for you. For us, if you do that before April 1st, you can choose the exact room that you want to live in. Now, when it comes to Tucson itself, apparently there's a rumor that goes around that we're known as the dirty tea. Here's the thing, is we're a very clean tea in Tucson. There's a lot of fun things that you can do in Tucson. We have a lot of really cool mountain landscapes around there. We are actually surrounded by mountain ranges. There's one that's called Mount Lemon, and they have a really cool hiking trail that you can do called Seven Falls, where you can see really cool, beautiful waterfalls all throughout there. For me personally, I just ended up falling 7 times, so that was horrible. But we have a lot of really fun things down in Tucson. Now, when it comes to making the smart choice financially, what we have is a few different things. So one, we are the top one. We are amongst the top 1% of the universities in the entire world, and also top 10 public university for outstanding value and academic quality. Kind of going on with that is with making the smart choice is financially. What it comes down to is we have something called guaranteed tuition. All right, so guaranteed tuition, every single college and university has that tuition amount that they set aside for you to take classes there. What we do is, because that changes every single year for all colleges and universities, what we do is we make sure that you pay the same all 4 years that you're at the U of A. I know when I had first started, we didn't have this set in stone, so I was stuck paying whatever the year after me had to pay, which is usually an increase. So now what we do is you actually get to pay the same amount all 4 years. Now, what a lot of while some more universities and colleges are using guaranteed tuition, we kind of upped the ante a little bit and added guaranteed mandatory fees. So every college and university also has a set of mandatory fees that goes to student services. So we kind of upped that up, and we did it so that every single year you're paying the same amount for tuition and mandatory fees. Now, probably the biggest thing that we have is something called the Wildcat Tuition Award. This is solely based off of your merit, based off of your SAT or ACT, as well as your GPA from freshman, sophomore, junior year. So what we do is we will take a look at those, and students can qualify anywhere between $3,000 to $15,000 every single year for up to 4 years. Now, just to kind of give you some background, we actually that $15,000 is above the tuition amount right there, so you'd actually be receiving above tuition, which is pretty sweet. We also have a few other awards too, such as the National Scholars Tuition Award, Dean's Exemplary Award, and then we also have something called Scholarship Universe. One of the biggest things that I highly recommend you take a look at is Scholarship Universe, which you can use as soon as you get accepted to the University of Arizona. Now, finally, one of the last things I'll talk about is the Honors Village. We have the Honors College that's been around for quite some time, but we actually just recently established the Honors Village. It's so new, it's not even finished yet, but it will be ready for you seniors that are out there. So a few things with that, it's essentially kind of taking those honors classes or AP classes, maybe dual enrollment classes, but kind of in an upper division, right? So you're doing that in college. There's some really cool benefits to that, such as class priority registration, so you actually get to select your classes 2 weeks ahead of the other people that are in the same grade as you. There are some study abroad opportunities open for every student, but there's also honor specific ones, and some really cool scholarship opportunities, such as the Baird Scholarship, which is essentially full ride right there. Everything is all-inclusive with that, over $100,000. So when it comes to the application process, there's a few different things that you'll want to do. You'll want to go to arizona.edu/apply, all right? And what we do is we take a look at the Core 16 classes. So when it comes to the Core 16 classes, this is good for ASU, NEU, and U of A. You have to take all 16 of them. Those are set aside by the Arizona Board of Regents. Essentially what happens is you do something called self-reporting, which you might have heard throughout the presentation today, but you take your transcript with you when you apply to our schools, and you'll say, all right, freshman year, took Algebra 1, 2, got an A this semester and a B this semester. You do that for all of your classes right there, including what you're taking your senior year. You'll submit your SAT or ACT test scores if you are interested in merit-based scholarships, and you only need it for nursing, engineering, and the Honors College. You don't need it for the actual University of Arizona. Lastly, also come visit us. We have something called Arizona Experience. One of the things that we have there is it's a kind of conference style event where you can pick and choose what you want to learn most about at the U of A, whether that's the Honors College, financial aid and scholarships. You can actually go see dorms in person, see what those are like. And I don't know if they can see this, but on their slide, but that's actually me giving a tour right there. So it's my favorite slide right there. Yeah. So we actually gave tours for, I used to give tours for students at the U of A. This is the big big thing that I highly recommend to every single one of you that are out there. Come visit our campus. This for me was kind of the biggest deciding factor for myself. I was actually really dead set on going to ASU for the longest time. I love the people that are there, I love the campus, and I've been around to that area before lots and lots of times. But I really wanted to get out of Arizona for a bit, so I decided to apply to a lot of out-of-state schools. Then money was a really big factor for me, so I started applying to NAU, and I applied to U of A. I loved NAU's campus, been there lots of times before. Didn't actually end up going down to the University of Arizona until my senior year to take an actual tour. When I did, I was absolutely floored. My mom looked at me afterwards and she was like, Kyle, you know you're coming here, right? And I was like, yes, Leslie, I know, because it's beautiful. It really is beautiful, and it sells itself. So we have some really cool opportunities for you at the U of A. Really, honestly, kind of in closing remarks for me, come look at us. One of the best things that we are known for at the University of Arizona is our spirit. We were the very first university in the state of Arizona, and we were actually a university before we even officially became a state. So we were actually diehard Wildcat fans down in Tucson, the only college town in the state of Arizona, I would argue at least, because of those factors right there. So come take a look at us. It's a great time, and I can guarantee you'll feel right at home looking at our school whenever you do come down.
All right, so students, I'll go ahead and leave that last slide up there real quick with Kyle's information on it. That way you can get that, give him a call, shoot him an email, set up your tour. Remember, like we said with all the other presentations today, take some time and go check out the campuses, check out the schools, do a little bit of research on your own. I mean, we're giving you some information that you might not have had before, but this is designed for you guys to go ahead and get a little bit more intrigued so you can go down and check that stuff out for yourself. So last chance, go ahead and grab that information that's up there. We're going to jump back in and go right into our is-does game. So,
Ron, slide the board a little bit that way.
a little bit more this way.
There we go.
All right. So, is-does. Okay. Type in University of Arizona. Is there U of A? These are the most common answers. Does the U of A? These are the most common answers.
Okay.
So, first one, is U of A is U of A a school that does rolling admissions?
Rolling admissions, yes, we are. We are a rolling admissions school. We did away with priority admissions, I believe, a year or two ago now. So whenever you apply, it takes about 2 to 4 weeks for you to receive your decision.
All right. Is U of A on the Common App?
Yes, we are on the Common App.
All right, well, that was quick.
Yeah.
It's going to take me too long to write it out. Does U of A have a men's soccer team?
A men's Division I soccer team? No, we do not, but we do have a club soccer team. We do have a women's Division I
Soccer team, okay. Does the U of A require ACT writing?
ACT writing? No, we do not.
And our bonus does, as I finish this one, does it snow at the University of Arizona?
At the University of Arizona, no, it does not, but on Mount Lemmon it does. So people will go up there all the time and actually go skiing, which is a good 45 minutes away from the campus.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and ask a few questions here, some of them that were pre-submitted from our students and a couple of them that are coming through right now. First one, what do I need to do if I'm interested in the nursing program at U of A?
Yeah, so when it comes to nursing, essentially what happens as an undergraduate, we have the pre-nursing program. So with that pre-nursing program, there are a set test scores that you need to submit. So you apply to U of A, and then you also need to have those test scores submitted to us. So what we do is they'll take a look at your SAT or ACT as well as your GPA. The minimum ACT is 23, and then the minimum SAT is 1140 that you need to receive on that, I believe. And then for your GPA, it's a 3.5.
Perfect. What options does U of A have for art programs?
Our programs, yeah. So we have we're pretty known for fine arts as well. I forgot to mention that. So I'll kind of dwell over all of fine arts really fast. So we do have musical theater. It's actually a contemporary program at the University of Arizona at a public institution. We have acting. We also have studio art, and studio art kind of goes into a lot of different realms of 2D, 3D, walk art, all the things, photography, everything. So definitely take a look at it. for anyone who might be interested, they do provide a lot of really cool information at those visits that you can go to, and they might even show you some behind the scenes stuff, low key. But it's a really, really cool opportunity for sure. So go take a look at that and ask them, or you can also email me and I'll provide you the contact information for the department, because they have some really cool opportunities when it comes to art for sure.
Awesome. One more question. Is there a pre-law program that students would be able to pursue?
Yeah, actually, so they have a bachelor's of law at the U of A. It's the only bachelor's of law in the entire U.S. So this is the very first one and the only one thus far. So you wouldn't be walking away a lawyer quite yet,
Yes.
but you would be able to do that. There is also a 3-in-3 program, so you would do 3 years as an undergraduate and then 3 years as a doing law school right there at the U of A too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that'll do it for us. We'll come back in about 10 minutes for a quick wrap up. Go ahead and touch base on all the information that we got today and sign off. And Kyle, thanks for coming.
Yeah,
Appreciate having you,
definitely.
and hopefully we'll see you again next year.
Yes, of course. Thank you
All
for
right.
having me.
Tune back in. Be back in about 10 minutes. Thanks, students.